Hi, it's your local dragon lady here, and the World Championship Qualifiers and Duel Links is still going on. In my last video I mentioned if I came across any interesting matches that I post them, so I got some replays here saved. And I'll go to the first one with Seto Kaiba versus Seto Kaiba. This one, this is what you would call a very, very close match. I actually played this last night. As typical, when the camera stops running, that's when you start winning matches. But this ended up being a mirror match in every sense of the word. So I went second, and depending on who you go against, that can be an advantage. But right off the bat, I had a really good hand. I had an egg, I had a blue eyes, controller, and a sphere Karibo. So naturally, he put his card down, and I knew right away that has to be an egg. So usually in this situation, I will try and stall with the same thing. I try to build my resources just in case, once my opponent does go ahead and get his big boys out, I can pretty much retaliate. And this was the first move that caught me off guard, a Cosmic Cyclone. It's a really good card, but I find that it can give you a disadvantage simply because you lose life points over it. Personally, I prefer the other one where you just destroy a face-down magic or trap card. But here you go. This guy is doing what I would typically do, get out of Cosmo Brain by ditching a blue eyes. Got two eggs here, so this guy got a really, really good field on the go here. So two big monsters, but then he synchros into the Dragon Mech. And this is a really, really good card. I'm yet to get this one. But once per turn you banish a tuner, and then you can destroy a card. So, right off the bat, this guy thinks he has me. And he would have too if I didn't have the Sphere Karibo. But I did take a massive hit. Massive hit, so... Yes, and of course the egg, his end phase, the egg brings out a blue eyes monster. And typically, this guy made a really good move, because 9 times out of 10, he had a blue eyes white dragon in his hand. And I always recommend that with the eggs, even if there's no back row, always try to get a dragon spirit or white out, because with the blue eyes right here in my hand, in a situation, I can just swap it out. So this is what I do here. This is the main reason why I always put a Dragon Spirit of White out, even if there's no back row. So, use the skill, swap him out for a Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is still the battle phase, so I can still keep on attacking. But he has a Sphere Karibo. Great minds think alike. But Silver's Cry is a quick play. Quick play magic card. So, still in the battle phase, even though my blue eyes white dragon's going to go into defense. Bam. Out comes Dragon Spirit of White, kills it. But there's still a monster on the side of the field, so I can still swap it out for a blue eyes. So, there you go. Even though I started with just one little card, face down, defense, and he seemed to have the upper hand, the tables have turned. So he only has one, he's pretty much top decking at this point and relying on his graveyard, so he's got a blue eyes white dragon back in his hand, and naturally he's able to get another Cosmo Brain out. Beat down, so he's able to get rid of at least one more of my cards. 400 more, and as you can see, I have only 300 life points left. I mean, this was a really, really close game for me. So he's top decking. I'm, working with very little resources. But hey, thanks to the skills, I'm at least able to get rid of his beat stick. So bam. Cosmo Brain is gone, so back to top decking. And he has nothing. So and this is a good situation too. I decided to hedge my bets just in case he had a Sphere Karibo. So I go ahead and synchro the gigantic castle, and at least I got an egg in the grave in case I needed something. And see, there you go. He had a Spirit Karibo. I had that gut instinct that that's what he had. Unfortunately, I only have one. I've been trying to get more Spirit Karibos, but they're expensive. You guys spend a lot of gems for an ultra rare. So yes, two big monsters in the field, a good backup. But this is where I knew he was just getting ready to quit. You know, he used another Cosmic Cyclone, paid the cost of 1,000 life points, nothing in his hand or field. So I'm like, yeah, he's just trying to speed this up. Most people just scoop at this point, but I really give this guy credit for sticking it out to the end, because a lot of them don't. A lot of them do not, so... Yeah, like, that was tight. I really, really enjoyed that duel. I love it when there's a lot of back and forth action like that. Another interesting one, well, I don't know about interesting, rather annoying for me, is the Metaphys cards. Fairly new deck now in Duel Links. They're not overly difficult to get around. The only reason why I don't like them is because, like spellbooks, they are extremely solitary in nature. Usually, a duelist should be fairly quick. Metaphys cards, they just do a ton of effects and searching and shuffling during their turn and during your turn and your standby phase, end phase, the works. And it takes forever. And of course, they go through all these efforts, and I just play a couple of cards and just derail all that and win. So, but I will admit though, this deck is not that common. I only went against it a few times, and I think I lost to it once maybe. And this magic card here he's playing is really, really tricky because it's its effect depends. Using the Spirit Karibo, but it really depends on whose turn it is. So, yeah. So not having a lot to work with. I mean, I did not start with a good hand anyway. The Spirit Karibo was my saving grace at that point. I know 1700 attack from an aloof isn't that big a deal, but I really want to try to get as much draws as possible. But the Dawn Knight, well, at least pretty much guarantees me a monster. Unless it gets banished. Which is what Metaphys decks are all about. They're all about banishing. So here we go. My Dawn Knight's gone into the grave, so put an egg. That's usually the best thing to do. Now, of course, I could have put a Blue Eyes card in there and revived it with a Silver's Cry, but by using the egg instead of Silver's Cry, you're deck thinning yourself a little bit, so it just makes it easier to reach the cards you need the most further down. Go ahead, attack me. Sure, yeah. And enemy controller is such an important card for this matchup. I mean, like any deck can be fairly easy to go against, providing you know how that deck works. I have not gone against Metaphys decks all that often, but for the most part, I know how they work. And enemy controller is so important because if you can use it to disable their main card, well, they can't really continue on with their combos. And speaking of combos, this guy just keeps on going. He just keeps on going. He's using the effects, the banishing, special summoning, going back and forth. So this is all during my turn. So there you go. That's why I'm able to use my quick play magic card. So I know what this guy's going to do. Basically, what Metaphys Daedalus does is he basically banishes all special summon monsters, and that's all I have on my field. So no dice, no dice. So that's why I took control of the enemy controller and used the Silver's Cry to get Dragon Spirit of White. So this back row is gone now, and the beatdown applies to the Metaphys card. So I'm able to get my first chunk out of them. The Aloof is doing his work. Aloof is such a good card in that deck. So essential. But he's dead now. Don't expect me to. I draw. So now it's his turn. Sending his card. Another Aloof Lupine. So he's gonna come after me. Yeah. But not entirely. As long as you don't do a Chain Link 2 with the Silver's Cry, you will be able to get the effect of Dragon Spirit away because you won't miss the timing. Well, you will miss the timing if it's Chain Link 2. So if you are playing Blue Eyes, that's one important thing you should remember. So another enemy controller. So, right, like my confidence grew a lot more once I drew the second one because I knew, oh, okay, great, if he's going to get that monster out again. And again, like, this is my standby phase. Look at all the stuff he's doing. And it's not that bad now because there's a replay, but in real time, oh my goodness, this takes forever. Forever. So spellbooks aren't as bad now compared to this because I'm literally like, I just drew a card. Can I do something now? But he brought out Daedalus again, so I was like, I'm not having it. I know what this card does. I mean, if my special summon monster is going to be banished anyway, I might as well use it to take over his monster. And get a monster back by banishing one of my eggs, so there you go, another chunk got off of him. The exact same way, like this last time I killed this aloof Lupine with a Daedalus, so...
I draw. I activate my monster's effect.
Doing his banish effects, Manifest Dimension, so... Yeah, I have nothing. You know, I did leave myself vulnerable. I didn't really have much of a choice. So I am taking a hit here. So, of course, I'm going to draw a card. And he's going to do his stuff again. Traps and quick play magic cards is, you know, that's one thing. But doing all of these insane monster effects and banishing is like, ugh. But it wasn't that bad that time. And I kind of knew, I mean, I knew what he was going to do at this point because that's what this trap does. I mean, I just wrestled summon a monster. And he took one for his own team. He knew how dangerous Cosmo Brain is. So, yeah, he didn't pull anything on that one. So I'm kind of top decking, but thank goodness I got the Dragon Spirit. I'm sorry, the Silver's Cry. But naturally, I always go. And he, yes, I forgot. He actually surrendered in this one. Because he knew what was coming. I would bring back the Dragon Spirit of White, I would banish, and just use my beatdown skill and go for the win. So that's the one thing I noticed that a lot of times that if my opponent's in a situation, they say, okay, well, that Dragon Lair is definitely going to win. They just usually scoop. But you still get the ones that stay to the end. And that's kind of like me. It's like, I probably surrender a couple of times, but most of the time I won't because I have top decked a lot of cards that has saved me. So yes, so that those are a few interesting replay matches I had in the World Championship qualifiers. I haven't really done much in ranked duels, but I'll probably do some of those later on. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this unusual episode of Duel Links and Chill, I guess. But hey, thanks for watching, and remember to be a good sport. Play the game, not the fame. See ya! Thanks for watching! If you like what you see, subscribe, and be sure to click on the bell for notifications. You can also check me out on Facebook. The link is in the description below. Happy dueling!